Oh well, we tried.
What's up guys, it's Ben and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be previewing and predicting the NFL matchups for Week 8. Some pretty crazy games we have in store for us. Last week, I went 9-6 with my predictions, bringing my total to 62-45 for the season. Looks like I'm going in the right direction. With that being said, let's get on to the first game for Thursday night, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Minnesota Vikings and LA Rams. To start off Week 8, the Minnesota Vikings face the Los Angeles Rams at SoFi Stadium. The Vikings are coming off of their first loss of the season, a narrow 31-29 defeat to the Detroit Lions. Quarterback Sam Darnold threw for 280 yards and had 2 touchdowns, while Justin Jefferson added another stellar performance with 100 receiving yards and a touchdown. The Rams secured a hard-fought 20-15 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders, with running back Kyren Williams scoring 2 touchdowns and Matt Stafford throwing 154 yards. Both teams are looking to bounce back, one from losing their perfect season and one having a roller coaster of a season. But with the Vikings' high-powered offense, I predict a Minnesota victory with a score of 28-18. Philadelphia Eagles and Cincinnati Bengals. The Philadelphia Eagles are traveling to Paycor Stadium to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Eagles are coming off of a dominant 28-3 victory over the New York Giants. Jalen Hurts led the way with 114 passing yards and a touchdown, while Saquon Barkley rushed for 176 yards and scored a touchdown on his former team. The Bengals are riding high after a 21-14 win against the Cleveland Browns in the first Battle of Ohio, with Joe Burrow throwing for over 181 yards and 2 touchdowns, one to Jamar Chase and one to T. Higgins. This also marks the first time Cincinnati has won in Cleveland in over 5 years. This matchup features the Eagles' powerful ground game against the Bengals' balanced offense. If it were me, I predict a close contest, with the Bengals winning 28-21. Indianapolis Colts and Houston Texans. The Indianapolis Colts are heading to Houston to take on the Texans at NRG Stadium. The Colts are coming off of a hard-fought 16-10 victory over the Miami Dolphins. Quarterback Anthony Richardson returned from injury, completing 10 of 24 passes for 129 yards, although he had 56 yards rushing. Tyler Goodson led the ground game with 51 yards for the running backs and the Colts' only touchdown of the day. The defense stepped up, forcing 2 turnovers and holding Miami to just 10 points. The Texans previously defeated the Colts 29-27 in Week 1 and are strong at home. However, they're coming off of a 27-23 loss to the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau. As a Colts fan, I know this is not going to be a pretty game. If we win, it's going to be an ugly win. If we lose, it's going to be an ugly loss. It is Texans' game to win, but because it's my team, give me the Colts 24-21 with victory. New York Jets and New England Patriots. The New York Jets are heading to Gillette Stadium to face the New England Patriots in a divisional matchup. The Jets are coming off of a tough 37-15 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football in Week 7. Aaron Rodgers threw for 276 yards and 1 touchdown, but he also had 2 picks. Newly acquired wide receiver Davante Adams also had a very lackluster debut. He was targeted but wasn't much of a factor. However, with his acquisition and the addition to Hassan Reddick, the Jets are hoping to spark a turnaround. The Patriots, on the other hand, lost 32-16 to the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. Rookie quarterback Drake May showed promise with 276 yards as well as 2 touchdowns, but the defense struggled, allowing 25 unanswered points. Both teams are desperate for a win to break their losing streaks. But for me, I predict the Jets will capitalize on their new acquisitions and secure a 28-10 victory. Tennessee Titans and Detroit Lions. The Tennessee Titans are visiting the Detroit Lions at Ford Field. The Titans are coming off of a tough 34-10 loss to the Buffalo Bills. Will Levis was questionable and was replaced by Mason Rudolph earlier in the week. They started off strong early in the game, but they failed to capitalize against Buffalo's defense. For the Lions, they celebrated a win against their divisional rival, that is the Minnesota Vikings, ending their hopes to have an undefeated season. With a nail-biter that ended with a victory for Detroit 31-29, Detroit now leads the NFC North in the division. Jared Goff has been impressive, especially indoors. And with his home field advantage, I can't see why the Lions can't win. Strong offense with them, I say it's going to be 27-17 for Detroit. Atlanta Falcons and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Atlanta Falcons visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium. The Falcons are coming off of a tough 34-14 loss to the Seattle Seahawks, where Geno Smith threw 2 touchdown passes and the Seahawks pulled away in the second half. Despite strong performances from running back Bijan Robinson and wide receiver Drake London, the Falcons couldn't overcome Seattle's defense. The Buccaneers, on the other hand, are dealing with injuries to star receivers Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, with Godwin out for the season and Evans expected to miss a few more games. Quarterback Baker Mayfield, who leads the NFL with 18 touchdown passes, still managed to throw 370 yards and 3 scores against Baltimore, but the Bucs offense will need to rely so much more on their rushing attack. The last time these two played each other was a thrilling Thursday Night Football performance where the Falcons came out on top 36-30 in overtime. Again, I believe this is going to be a close contest with the score of the Falcons winning it 26-20. New Orleans Saints and LA Chargers. New Orleans Saints are visiting the LA Chargers at SoFi Stadium. The Saints are coming off of an abysmal Thursday night performance, losing 33-10 to the Denver Broncos, and are looking to break a 5-game losing streak. Despite the injuries to key players like Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, the Saints are hoping to have a turnaround. The Chargers, on the other hand, are also coming off of a very sad finish to their Monday night matchup against the Arizona Cardinals, losing 17-15, with the game ending in a walk-off win for the Cardinals. Quarterback Justin Herbert will need to step up for the Chargers next time to secure a win. The Saints are still facing quarterback issues as Derek Carr is still recovering from an oblique muscle injury, and rookie Spencer Rattler is preparing to start his 3rd consecutive game. Rattler has shown some promise, but he's also faced tons of challenges, including being sacked 11 times in his 2 starts. With both teams struggling, I predict a lower scoring contest here, with the Chargers edging out a win 17-14. Buffalo Bills and Seattle Seahawks. The Buffalo Bills traveled to Seattle to take on the 12th man at Lumen Field against the Seattle Seahawks. The Bills are coming off of a dominant 34-10 win over the Tennessee Titans, with newly acquired wide receiver Amari Cooper making an immediate impact by scoring his first touchdown for the team. Quarterback Josh Allen did connect with Keon Coleman, who had a breakout game of 125 yards as well. For the Seahawks, they're also coming off of a win, beating the Atlanta Falcons 34-14. Main highlight of that game was a spectacular 64-yard fumble recovery touchdown by Tyreek Hall. The game showed that the Seahawks defense was solid, and DK Metcalf had a strong showing with multiple key receptions. The Bills have shown some inconsistency with slow starts, but once they're going, there's really not much stopping them. Seattle's defense will need to step up to contain Buffalo's high-powered offense, but I predict a close game here, with the Bills winning it 28-20. Carolina Panthers and Denver Broncos. Carolina Panthers are set to face the Denver Broncos at Empower Field at Mile High. The Panthers have struggled this season, which comes as no surprise to anyone. And with rookie quarterback Bryce Young back in the starting lineup after Andy Dalton's injury, they're hoping for a little bit of a turnaround. However, Young has had a rough start for his sophomore campaign, and the Panthers' performance last week, well, can be described just like this. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. For the Broncos, though, they are coming off of a dominant 33-10 win over the New Orleans Saints on Thursday Night Football, where they showcased their best rushing performance of the last decade. Running back Javonte Williams had the first 2-touchdown game of his career, and the Broncos totaled 225 yards on the ground alone as a team. The Broncos defense is one of the best in the league right now, and they should be able to contain the Panthers' struggling offense without a doubt. With that said, I predict a dominant performance, 34-10. To quote Russell Wilson from 2 years ago,
Broncos country, let's ride.
Kansas City Chiefs and Las Vegas Raiders. The Kansas City Chiefs are set to face the Las Vegas Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. The Chiefs, they're the only undefeated team left in the league, and they're looking to keep up their winning ways, despite some struggles from quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who has shown 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions this season. The Chiefs' defense has been outstanding, holding each of their last 4 opponents to under 20 points. For the Raiders, they've had a tough season, losing 3 straight games right now and dealing with the trade of star wide receiver Devontae Adams, which has been a significant setback. The team is also facing uncertainty at the quarterback position, further complicating their struggles. Their offense ranks 26th in the league in total offense, and their defense has struggled, allowing an average of 26.1 points per game. I mentioned in my last video how lucky the Chiefs have been this season. I still stand by that. However, it's worth noting that the 49ers were badly injured as a whole. But Chiefs are playing against the Raiders. So I'm going to say a prediction. Chiefs going to win it 31-17. Chicago Bears and Washington Commanders. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears are on the road up against the Washington Commanders in what is soon to be an exciting matchup. Last week, the Bears are coming off of a bye week after a dominant performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London, where they scored 35-16 and threw a career-high 4 touchdown passes, including a 31-yarder to Cole Kmet. With the Commanders, the loss of Jaden Daniels is really rough to see. He's been an exciting rookie to watch all season long, but Washington is in good hands with Marcus Mariota. Filling in for him, he led the Commanders to a dominant performance, scoring 40-7 against the Carolina Panthers. Despite the uncertainty of Jaden Daniels right now, I'm still going to go with the Commanders to win this one, and I think it's going to be a close matchup, 31-26 Washington. Dallas Cowboys and San Francisco 49ers. The Dallas Cowboys are set to face the San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium on Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys are coming off of a bye week, which was most definitely needed after having an abysmal 47-9 loss to the Detroit Lions. The defense has been struggling, especially with injuries to key players Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. The offense has been also very inconsistent, though star running back Rico Dowdle has sparked attention with his performance. Meanwhile, the 49ers are coming off of a 28-14 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. They are dealing with some very significant injuries. Deebo Samuel had pneumonia last week, Brandon Ayuk has torn his ACL and MCL, Christian McCaffrey is still on IR with calf and Achilles injuries, and George Kittle has sprained his foot. Despite these setbacks, quarterback Brock Purdy has shown resilience. The 49ers defense remains strong, and they have a solid rushing attack with Jordan Mason. A classic gritty battle between two iconic teams. But if it was me, I'm picking the 49ers to win this one with a score 31-20. New York Giants and Pittsburgh Steelers. The New York Giants are set to face the Pittsburgh Steelers at Acrisure Stadium. I miss calling it Heinz. The Giants have had a tough season so far, with their offense struggling to find any consistency. Quarterback Daniel Jones has faced pressure and turnovers, and the team ranks 26th in the league in total offense. Despite multiple instances where Malik Neighbors was wide open for a potential key play in their last game, Jones failed to connect on any of those passes. Overall, the Giants on offense and defense has been abysmal, and it's hard to watch them. For the Steelers, they are coming off an emotional win against the New York Jets, with Russell Wilson making his debut as the starting quarterback for the season. Wilson threw for 264 yards and 2 touchdowns in his first game, and an impressive game for Najee Harris as well. He's been playing some fabulous football the last few weeks. For the Steelers defense, they are absolutely strong, allowing an average of only 19.2 points per game. And once again, TJ Watt, how are you going to stop him? Don't look at this as a very exciting game unless you are a Steelers fan, but I'm going to make a wild prediction here. Steelers win 24-3. And as of recording this, it has come to my attention that I forgot 2 specific games. I forgot the Browns and the Ravens game, and I forgot the Cardinals and Dolphins game. So if you guys are fans of those teams, I do apologize. Let me give you my rapid fire prediction. The Baltimore Ravens are heading to Cleveland to take on their AFC North divisional rival, the Cleveland Browns. The Ravens have been looking great. They're on a 5-game winning streak, led by Lamar Jackson's stellar playing, who he threw for over now 15 touchdowns this season with just 2 interceptions. And Derrick Henry has just been absolutely fabulous. He's already got over 873 yards just to week 8 alone, and 8 touchdowns. And things have gone from bad to worse for the Browns. They lost to Deshaun Watson in the last matchup against the Bengals. He's out with a torn Achilles, and he's out for the season. So you're going to see Jameis Winston fill in for him for the rest of the season from here on. The best part for the Browns is that Myles Garrett has stayed consistent, and they got back Nick Chubb, where he carried the load on scoring and acted like he never missed the season at all last year. Decide between those 2 teams, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one. A dominant performance, 38-10. And to my viewers who are Cleveland Browns fans,
there's always next year, Professor.
And for my other game, the Arizona Cardinals head to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are welcoming back Tua Tagovailoa after a 6-week absence due to a concussion. And Tua's return is expected to provide a much-needed boost to the Miami's offense, which has struggled immensely without him. And for the Cardinals, they're coming off a big win to the Chargers on Monday Night Football, and we'll look to see if Kyle Murray can keep that ground game going on with the pressure on the Dolphins. But both of these teams are fighting to stay relevant in the playoff picture, making this a crucial game for both teams. Even though it might be a slow start for Tua, I'm still going to go with the Dolphins on this win, and they're going to win 28-17. With those offensive weapons for the Dolphins, I just think it's going to be too much for the Cardinals to handle. And with that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much if you've stayed throughout the whole video. I really appreciate the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.